Hello, everyone. Hey, welcome to this channel once again. My name is Sambato Francis. I'm super excited to be here once again and to share with you guys my journey, how I became a member of the church. The last time I talked about how I joined the church through my mother. Okay, and so I'm so proud of her. I'm proud of her making that step and that example for me to follow. Even though I was a little bit, I was a little bit stubborn, not giving the missionaries the chance. But along the way, yeah, I finally find myself. Yeah, so today I just want to continue the story and how I became a member of the church. So this is the part two of it. So wait for the part three also of it. Yeah, so let's begin. Yeah, so the last time I gave you guys a little bit a view of how I became a member of the church, and it all started from my mother. My mother really played a very good role. In fact, when she received the gospel, because my mother go to different, before when she was not a member, she's late now. My mom and my dad. Yeah, so both of them are late now, and so yeah, I just um I just missed them. Just mentioned their name and yeah. So my dad, my mom, especially the story is all about my mother, and my mother, she go to like before when she was not a member, she go to different church. She go to different church. She does not have a particular church that she wished to go, so she can go to a different church. And over here in Ghana, there are diverse, like there are a lot of church, there are a lot of church over here in Ghana. There are many churches over here in Ghana. Yeah, but back in those days, the churches were not too many like today. Today, if you pass one street in Cape Coast or Almina, where I reside right now, if you pass one street, you can see more than 10 churches around that street. And so that tells you that, yeah, there are a lot of churches around today. So, yeah, let me go on to the story. So, my mom goes to different churches, and we were staying in a compound house. Okay, a compound house. A compound house is a house that can contain a lot. It can contain a lot of people, but there's a way that they have built those houses. Okay, so they build it in a kind of a circle, and then they leave the middle. Okay, so the middle is the center where everybody, there is no kitchen, you don't have kitchen, so you have what we call a corridor. A corridor, so you have a corridor in each house. And so most of these compound house that I'm talking about, those that they are familiar with a compound house over here in Ghana, they all understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Let me give a shout out to Greg. Greg is a very amazing person. He is the one giving me all the tips over here. So let's give shout out to Greg. So help me give shout outs to Greg. So Greg, we love you so much. Okay, and so yeah, so a compound house is a big place, and they build a house in a form of a circle where they leave the center. They leave the center of the house. So this center, which is the middle of the house, which is the center, there's an open space. Okay, and so this open space in this most of these houses, they have one washroom, and then one washroom which is a bathhouse, and then one for um, the toilet. I don't know how to put that. So one for the toilet and one for a place that everybody will shower. So sorry. So it doesn't matter, like maybe you are 10 in that compound house and everybody have their own family. So let's say, in my side, my dad have nine children. Okay, my dad have 9 children, and so you can imagine, like in a compound house, whereby everybody have their own. You don't have your own privacy. You use one toilet, you use one bathhouse to shower and everything. And so that is what we call a compound house. And so one day my mom, she was home, and then the last time I talked about it, she was home, and then she saw these white guys. They were passing by, and then they decided to walk into the compound house. The compound, there are a lot of people. We were more than, yeah, there are a lot of people in a compound house where we were living. And so they walk into the compound, they approach my mother, and my mother, she she like reading. So they approached my mother, and they were shocked because over here the missionaries, you are coming on mission, they say, "Oh, it's an English-speaking country." Yeah, but I tell you, when you come, you need interpreters to be able to interpret for you. Most of the time, the missionaries, those that they are from Salt Lake and other America or Tonga and all those places, you need somebody to interpret for you. So most of the times, some of the members work with the missionaries, and they go postlight with them and interpret. So they were shocked when they met my mother, and then they started speaking English, and my mother responded. They were shocked. And so yeah, that is how everything started. And during that time, I was a very busy young boy. I was a very busy young boy. Imagine 12, 13, like 12, 13, 14 years boy. You are, you know, like the world is like, it's like the world is for you. The whole world is for you. You have a lot of things that you are doing. You are always excited. You are always excited. And so and so my mom gave the missionaries the opportunity, and then they started teaching my mom, you know. But during that time, like I said, I was in, the anxiety was, I was always busy, like always busy. And the busy is whether I'm playing football, I'm dancing, or going to studio, recording music, and you know, and so these were things that I enjoy doing it. And most of the time I spend my most, like when I come back from school, all that I know is to go to the football park and start playing football. So we start around 2, and then we will end around 6, 7 sometimes in the night. And so as a young boy, so my mom gave the missionaries the chance. They talked to my mother, and the next day they came again. So that was in 2006. And so by the time I know, my mom said she's going to baptize, and she went, she got baptized, she came back, and this all the time, like sometimes in the afternoon, you will see her when she's done with everything that she's doing. My mom is a hard-working woman. I will tell you the other story about my mom in this channel. I will tell you guys how my mom really, really sacrificed. I know a lot of mothers are doing that, and I know, but hey, I see, like, and so one time I was just coming, and then I saw my mother one afternoon. She was holding this book, and the back was blue, and then she was reading it. I just greeted her, passed by her, and then we all live in one room. All the nine, all the 9 children, we live in one single room, including me, my dad, everybody. We all live in a single room. Yeah. So with the children doesn't have their separate room. We all live in one room, and so that is something that a lot of people like. It's common over here. It's common over here. So I saw my mom reading. I passed by her, I greeted her. So I was during the afternoon, and then the missionaries came over. My mom introduced me to the missionaries. You know, I they just said something, and then they book appointment that they will come the next day. And that is where everything began. That is when I started. When they come, I don't give the missionaries the chance. I don't give them that chance. The reason why I don't give them the chance, because they don't come in the right time, and I always also give them the wrong time to come and meet me, because from around 2, the sun is not hot, but from the afternoon, from 10, 11, 12 going, hey, you can't bear that sun. Yeah, but we were used to it. So, but the perfect time to play football was in the evening time, which is around 2, getting to 3. And so all the time I used to tell them, come around this time. And, I believe they did not also, study something. So by the time they will come, sometimes, and I will tell them I'm going to bring my pamphlet. The last time I stopped on jumping windows and jumping windows and jumping windows. So I did that to imagine from 2000, 2006, along all those years. I keep on doing that. I keep on doing that. I keep on doing that. I keep on doing that until 20, 2007. Sorry, 2007 onto 2007. And so 2007, there have been a lot of missionaries coming and go, coming and going, coming and going. So these two, one Ghanaian and a Kwenedu Matthias from Sierra Leone, so they came, and I was doing the same thing to them. So the last time I stopped on jumping the window. So this time around, I jumped the window. Kwenedu grabbed me. I said, hey, young man, where are you going? And that is where he said, I know the gospel is not by force. And maybe someday, maybe he will watch this video, and he will see that, hey, in fact, this guy, the gospel have really, really blessed some battle. Yeah. So there is one thing that also got my attention. Like I said, I love playing football, which is soccer. It's not American football, the one we use our leg to play. It's not the one we throw like this. So, um, and I saw something in Eda Kunedu, and I saw that Eda Kunedu was very good in playing football, and so and I couldn't have some skills which I don't have. And so on my own, I said, I need to get closer to um, the missionary so I can learn, some of the football skills that Kunedu can do, so I can bring it to the field. And then, so by the time I know, so I started following the missionaries, going sometimes on P days, where they were in the apartment. There was an open compound, an open field. So some P days they will invite me to come over in the evening. We play football together. In my mind, I want to learn some skills and then take it to the main field and then show my friends that I got some skills. And so lo and behold, by the time I know, I started following the missionaries. When I came back from school, all that I know is to go to the missionaries. All that I know is to go to the missionaries. And so I continue. So by the time I know, I stopped going to the football field. I stopped going to the football field. I started to work with the missionaries, and I started postlighting with them. That is how everything began. So I started postlighting with these missionaries, but one thing is, when they invite me to church, I will not go. And so then they started teaching me the lessons, teaching me about they were teaching me about the plan of salvation before other lessons started also. And so I begin in that way, and I keep on pushing, and the story became very, very, like, by the time I know, guys, I I one day, I went to church. They have been teaching me, so I went to church with them. Then I sat there, and then I saw the young men, the last time I talked about the young men, they were passing the sacrament. And that is one thing that also got my attention. That is something that really got my attention. I said, no, I have to be like this young man holding that tray. I didn't know what it's all about. But I just said to myself that I have to be like them. I have to be like them. And I think I told, if Kredu will be watching this video and Matthias, they will be watching this video, I told them that, hey, I want to, I also want to pass the sacrament. And they told me, you have to be baptized first. So that is when I want to be baptized. I want to be baptized and then also pass the sacrament. I got baptized in December 29, and then I was confirmed in December 30th on Sunday. But now you can baptize somebody on the very day, and then they can be confirmed. And that is, yeah, that is a lot of changes. You can see there's been a lot of changes. The revelations are keeping on coming, and so, yeah, so that is how I became a member. I I became a member through my mom introduced me, and my conversion came through the young men that they were passing the sacrament that very day, and I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be like them, and yeah, and I became like them, and I became like the young man in that branch. We were a branch at that time, and I became the young man that never makes to pass the sacrament. I became that young man that I always want to be in church early so that I can pass the sacrament. If our former, he was a branch president, and then he became a bishop, and now he's a patriarch, and his name is Patriarch John, Patriarch Nyako. His name is Patriarch Nyako now, and this man, this man is really, really, really amazing man. He really helped, like most of the young men, like in now when we became a ward, when we became even right away from branch, the sacrament was like, everybody want to pass the sacrament. Everybody want to bless the sacrament. Like when I started passing the sacrament, I have that desire also to sit at the back and also to bless the sacrament. And it was like everybody want to do it. Like, so everybody want to get to church early. Like you have to get to church early to be able to get the opportunity to bless the sacrament. So if you come late, which means, and every young man in that ward, which is Asinfosu, a second ward today. Every young man during our time, every young man want to hold that tray and pass the sacrament, or they want to bless the sacrament. And so, and that's why I say, the bishop during that time, the bishop was really like, and every, like after church service and every Sunday, they will tell you, you are the one blessing the sacrament, so you have to prepare, you have to come to church early. And he always tell us something: come to church early, because the angels will come early in the morning. So if you come early, you will receive the blessing. And all of us, you can see that enthusiasm in all the young men. And in fact, I just want to say that I I never stop. The part three of how I became a member. Now I have given you guys, like, my convention, how I became the member. So now you know how I became a member. The story still continue, and I will keep on coming and give you guys more insight of how